Hey everybody, in today's video I want to show you how to make the dragon scale bracelet, which is usually made on a rainbow loom, but this is Loom hat, so I'm going to show you how to make it with the Nifty Knitter loom. For this project you only need 6 pegs, and it doesn't have to be a round loom. You could do it on a straight loom, a long loom. It can be the Nifty Knitter or any brand that you have. It's doesn't matter. Even the rainbow loom itself you can use, and you only have to use 6 pegs. You also need 2 C-clips. If you don't have C-clips, don't worry about that. You can always use a split ring, or you can use 2 jump rings, or if you don't have access to any of those, you can just take the little rubber bands and cut them and use them to tie the 2 ends of the bracelet together. Any one of those will work. And you also need for a 5 to 6 inch bracelet, mine is I think a little over 5, you need between 60 and 75 of the little rubber bands. And it sounds like a lot, but all of the braces take a lot of rubber bands. Okay, that's your supply, and of course you need your trusty hook. Okay, so I like to bunch mine up in sets of 5. It just helps me keep track of where I'm at, because I'll show you as I go along. You can get confused as to what was your last step, well, at least I can. So I find that if I bunch them up in sets of 5, it works a lot easier. And I like mine like this in stripes, but you can make yours all in one color or just 2 colors. Any one of those will work. Alright, so let's start. The first thing you got to do is the base, or the rubber caps for the bracelet. So let's start with the first one, and you're going to twist it and form an 8, and on this first one just go away from you. Okay, so you can put it on and make that 8 and go to the next one. This was peg 1 and 2. Now you're going to go to 3 and 4 and do the same thing. You put it on and twist it and come to this 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 4, 5, 6, and this is the last one. On this one, do it backwards and turn it towards you like that. Okay, that was that first row for your base. Now you're going to go to that second row, and you're going to also turn these as well. And so this one, you skipped 1, you put this second row on 2 and 3, and you're going to go here to 4 and 5. And you're not putting anything on 6. So your ends only have 1 loop, and then the middle 4 have 2. And like everything when you're loom knitting, you need a bottom and top loop. You take that bottom one and you put it over the top, and that's what you're going to do here. Take the bottom, put it over the top, take the bottom, put it over the top, and same thing here. Okay, so push them down because you got to come back up over them, and then you're going to put another row just like you did, except this time you're not gonna turn them. You're not gonna do that figure 8. You're just gonna put them on top. So my next color is pink, and I'm gonna put my 3. This is a pattern of 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. So 3 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands, 3 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands. So now we're putting our 3 again, just like before. Pegs 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And just like before, now you have 2 loops on each peg. So we're looming, so bottom over top, and again, and again, and the last one. Oopsie. Okay, there we go. And next one. All right, so those were the 3 rubber bands that we put. We're going to push these down. Push them down, push them down, push them down. And now you're going to put the 2 on top. So you're skipping your edges, and you're going to place rubber bands in the middle. So you put one on 2 and 3 and on 3 and 4. And again, you have only one loop here, only one here, 2 loops here. So you get your bottom loop and you bring it over the top. And the last one. And then once again, because you got to put rubber bands on top, go ahead and push those down so that you have space to do it again. Now my next row that I'm going to put is red, and guess what? What am I going to do? I'm following my pattern of 3 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands, 3 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands. So I'm on now my 3 rubber bands. So again, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Okay? And as always, when there are 2 loops, you're gonna do your bottom over top. Okay? And after this, after I basically knit my rubber bands, my 3 rubber bands, I'm going to knit my 2 rubber bands, right? And I look a little more clumsy because I'm standing up and I'm behind a camera, and so it makes it look like it's like cumbersome, but it isn't. It's just that I'm having to show you. If I were doing this on my lap, it'd go 100 times faster. Okay, so that I'm pushing these down, and then I'm gonna do some more and come back so I can show you what it looks like as you follow the pattern. So let me put a few more rows and I'll be back. This is what the bracelet looks after 45 of the little bands I've knitted. And as you see, this is that first set, which was the base cap, and then I have 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and that's how you get to here. And I did this literally in like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. It goes really fast once you get the pattern down packed, and you're just knitting. It goes really quick. Okay, so just keep going. Like I said, I'm going to do mines with 70 bands. That I have a kind of a small wrist. Mine is about 6 inches around. So just, you know, based on that, you can get an idea of how many bands you need. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to put my 70 bands, and then I'm going to show you how to close the bracelet. Okay, so I finished with my rows, and I did 75 of the rubber bands because it takes about 3 of these rows to make 1 inch. But I did want to tell you that you don't want to make this too loose, because if you make it too loose, like the design doesn't show up really good. It's good to have a little bit of tension, not a lot, but a little bit, just enough so that you can see the design really good. Okay, so just measure your wrist and 15 rubber bands in this design for every inch that you want. At least that worked for me. Okay, so we're at the end now, and we're ready to close this and bring it together so the 2 ends, so we can close it up. And the first part we're going to do is that we're going to take these ends and we're going to bring them in. So take your first one off peg number 1 and put it on 2. And we loom knitters call this decreasing, and that's familiar. Okay, and then of course take your bottom over the top and do the same thing on the other end. Go ahead and take it off of 6, peg number 6, and put it on peg number 5, and wrap from the bottom up. Okay, and so now we have 4. And what we're going to do is that we're going to put 2 of these on each of the C-clip. Okay, so you can just, if you want, just take them both off, and we're going to stretch them because that makes it easier to put the C-clip on. Okay, so do like this. And I know that sounds like a lot of rubber bands, 4 rubber bands on each C-clip, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm sorry. And then bring the ones from back here over here too. So take the one on the end and put it on top of that one, and take one from the middle and put it there. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, stretch it out to the second one. And take this one and stretch it out also. Okay, and there you have 2 from the back side and 2 from the front side, and then just take your C-clip and put everybody in there. There we go. Okay, everybody's in there. And you're going to do the same thing over here. Take them both off, and with your finger stretch them out. And here's my other end, which was my first one, and I take one from the middle and stretch it out like that, and I take this one off the end and I stretch it out as well, like such. Okay, and now I have the 4 rubber bands, and I take the C-clip again and I push everybody in there. Rubber band party. And there you go. So 2 C-clips, and I have the last row and the first row, 2 in each one of them, and then I just take it off. Bam. Off the loom, and done. Okay, there's your bracelet, all finished. These are so easy to make. They're really cute. They don't cost much. By the way, I used Proclaim. These are for braids, and wow, I paid like $2 for 450 of them at Sally's, or you can order them on Amazon. You can, by the way, order the C-clips separately, and they'll cost you just a couple of bucks. If you don't want to use the Rainbow Loom rubber bands, you have access to these Proclaim at your local store. I found that they're not as cheap at like Target or something. It's better to go to Sally's, or some of them don't have the color ones, so you might have to go on eBay or Amazon to get them. But like I said, if you do have access to this, it does turn out cheaper, and you can get the C-clips by themselves. Okay, well, I hope you guys liked my dragon scale bracelet on a loom, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can get lots of ideas, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.